Welcome to my Watch Chronicles. Today I've got a watch that probably a lot of people haven't seen or heard of. Maybe you have, and maybe you're a little curious about it. Today I'll be reviewing a Torgoen pilot watch. And they pretty much, that's all they make is pilot watches. And essentially almost all their watches are quartz watches. Especially now, I think all their automatics are sold out, and they all on their website, all they have right now are quartz watches. So that's kind of their bread and butter. So a lot of watch collectors probably may not be into collecting them. I originally came across this brand on, I believe, on Costco's website. So I did some looking around, and I came across this watch, which is a Swiss-made Torgoen, and it's their only line of automatics, and it just so happened that they made Swiss-made ones. So this isn't going to be your typical brand that you're going to have a lot of watch collectors looking at, but I have to say it's one that I have really enjoyed owning and wearing. It just ticks a lot of boxes for me of what a good watch should be. It is a 41 millimeter. The lugs are 22 millimeter, so there should be a lot of strap options for that. Its case thickness is 41 millimeter, not 41, that's the case diameter, about 14 millimeter in thickness. It does have a sapphire crystal. It's 100 meter water resistant. It does not have a screw down crown. So I don't plan on getting this wet. Plus with the leather strap, it just wouldn't make sense anyways. And it's a pilot watch, so it's not made for diving anyways. I believe this one has the Sellita SW200. Their website says that it's an ETA 2824, but if you look at the 26 joules, that tells me there that it's probably the Sellita SW200, because I believe the ETA 2824 has 25 joules. But it does have the exposed case back, expedition case back, I should say, and kind of like the black border around it that gives you the information about the watch. I don't know, it looks pretty cool. It is not stainless, it's stainless steel, but it's got a kind of a gunmetal plating on it. As you can see, the signed crown got there for Torgoen. They actually have some other watches on their website that's similar looking to this, but they're quartz. So, and as of right now, I just was looking and they do not have any of these Swiss-made automatics on their website right now. I'm not sure if that'll change, but it is what it is. The strap does have quick release pins, as you can see there. So it makes it switching straps pretty easy. I've had this for over a year and a half, and the straps held up really well, and I've worn it quite a bit. Just, it looks really good. I am a fan of the strap, and sometimes leather straps can be uncomfortable. This one has not been uncomfortable for me. I will look at the buckle, and it is signed with Torgoen. As you can see, some of the coating has worn off on the lettering, but that's not a huge deal. I mean, as far as everything else goes, this is in great condition for having it for as long as I have had it. Let's take a look at the dial. It's a gray dial with cream hands, as you can see. One thing I wish they would have changed is the white date wheel. I mean, that could have been pretty easy to color match that, and that would have, I think, made this watch just a little bit more special in my opinion. One thing you may notice is there's a, even though it looks like it's stamped or painted on indices, if you can look at there, they get to focus. They have some applied indices at the 3, 6, 9, and 12. You can see how they're a little bit raised, and then the rest of it is painted on. But one thing I really like about it is it's super easy to read. And that's, I mean, it's a pilot watch, so you want that. But the hands are big. The numerals, the 12 and the 3 and the 6, they're really good size and they're big. One thing I was kind of impressed by when I first opened it was that seconds hand. And it is long and it is super thin and skinny, I guess is the word I'm looking for. And it just looks really neat. It goes right up to the very edge of the inside case. And that's one thing I really like about this watch. The hands are just, they're cool looking and they're easy to read. I don't know about you, but there's some brands out there that I've seen that use little tiny short stubby hands, and I'm not a big fan of that for the hour and minute markers, and the second hands out there small and stubby. That's kind of a turn off right there for me. These guys kind of nailed it on that. Also, it's been fairly accurate. It runs about plus or minus 8 seconds a day. In my opinion, anything under 10 is good. And this falls within that category. But not sure how many people are going to try to run out and buy one of these, but if you ever do come across this brand, you'll probably mainly just going to run into quartz watches, but maybe at some point they'll have the automatics back in stock if you're curious. They weren't inexpensive though. I want to say when they weren't on sale, they were close to $800. And that, for me, when I first got it, I was like, oh man, for a non-name brand watch, or a watch that many people haven't heard of or I hadn't heard of before, to pay that kind of money was a little bit nerve-wracking, and I was almost had buyer's remorse at first. But the more I wore this watch, the more I fell in love with it, and it's actually one of my favorite watches in my collection. And I think it's just mainly because of that dial. It's just different, it's unique. I don't have any other watches like it. Let's see if we can get a wrist shot of this guy on my wrist. I have a 7 1/4 inch wrist. See if we can get that on. It's off camera. See what we got going on here. And that's what it looks like on my 7 1/4 inch wrist. Get those keepers on there, but 41 millimeter. I think it just looks good. I mean, it's super legible. The watch strap is held up quite well. It goes really well with this watch. I do know on the website when I originally bought it, the dial looks black, but when you get it in person, it's more of a gray, which I was a little disappointed in that at first, but I think it does work really well. And I'll be honest, I don't have a lot of complaints about this watch. It's been excellent to wear. Just look at that second hand. It's a smooth sweep. So long and narrow. Almost looks like a lightsaber in a way, I guess. But anyway, if you ever want to check them out, you can go visit their website and see what they have. I believe it's the same company that owns Torgoen also owns Armatron. People have probably seen that. It's a cheaper watch brand. But yeah, I don't think you'd be disappointed in this. I have never owned one of their quartz watches, but they do look neat. Some of them do. Most of them are a little bit large in the 44 millimeter range. This is one of the smallest ones, and part of the reason why I've got it as well. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next time.